Hey guys, it's Jason with Kentucky Sustainable Living. Here's a little intro to the video you're getting ready to watch. This is me putting all my clip-on insulators to the T-post and running all my electric. It's the Polywire from Tractor Supply. We ran it and got it all installed. I've got the fence charger on, rigged in there for now until I get a big Gallagher, like I said in the video. But guys, like, subscribe, share the video out. It helps me and helps the channel out a lot. One other thing, go to KentuckySustainableLiving.com. That's the festival website. We've got the festival coming up in Bowling Green, Kentucky, October 28th and 29th. Friday before the festival, we have Chuck Peoples' medical class, Homestead Medicine. We've got it. We've also got Eric from Porterhouse and Teal will be teaching a permaculture guild class on Friday. You can sign up for those classes on Friday at our website. And the big thing, Billy from Permapastures Farm announced it on his Pimpcast the other day. We have a charity dinner for Vets for Child Rescue. If you don't know about Vets for Child Rescue, it's vets4childrescue.org. Go to their website, watch the documentary Contraland, and it'll explain and show everything that organization does. It's an awesome organization, very worthwhile to support them. But our charity dinner is Saturday night of the festival. We want to raise $10,000. That's what it will cost for an operation, to have an operation, them come down, do an operation here in Kentucky. And Billy has been awesome enough to put it out there. The first 10 people that sign up and buy a ticket for the charity dinner will get a 10-minute spot on his Pimpcast to talk to him and William about whatever you want to, plug your business, ask questions, do whatever you want to. Tune in. It's episode 100 of the Pimpcast with Billy at Permapastures. He's got all the details on there. That's something awesome that you can do. But do that. Sign up. Support this cause. Also, on our website, you can sign up to get email alerts and stuff like that for the festival. Sign up for that. That helps us also to know the number of people that are going to come to the event, so we can help get numbers for Western, because they're doing all the catering for us. Guys, I appreciate it. And then here's a video of putting up Polywire. Thanks. Hey guys, it's Jason with Kentucky Sustainable Living. It's Saturday afternoon. I didn't get any video of it, but who really wants to watch somebody weed eat? But first thing this morning, super early, I got out and weed eated a bunch of stuff, and I'll show you some pictures of where we weed eated earlier. But I got out and weed eated for the fence, where I'd driven the T-post along the driveway and up by the orchard food forest area along the driveway. I did that this morning. Got it down just where it wouldn't interfere with the fence. Now what I'm working on is putting all our insulators on, and I'll show you one of the tricks that I do to put the insulators on. Let me spin everything around and see if you can see. We'll lower this thing down. All right, real simple on essentially all of our hot wire is kind of the same way, except for where we got the electric net fence. That's got almost like field fence. But the part where we've got just temporary electric fence, I guess you could call it a story pole. I don't know if you can see. It's just a piece of scrap wood. I've got to mark it 10 inches, 20 inches, and then a mark at 34 inches. That keeps you measure one time, and you just use that as a guide. You put it against your posts, clip 10, 20, and 34, and you're set and ready to go. And you can kind of see right there, if you can see, they're all the same. So what I've done is got everything clipped on, and you can kind of see up through there. Up through there is our posts go back. I went through and clipped everything on. We've got about, I think 175 clips is what I put on. Took maybe 30 minutes to snap those on. But like I said, use that story pole, snap, snap, snap. go to the next post, snap, 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 throw all your insulators in a 5-gallon bucket, and you're not having to worry about carrying anything else. What I've got that we're gonna run, I thought about running high tensile wire on this, but I really didn't want to mess with it, honestly. The poly wire, this is the thicker of the two poly wires that they make from Tractor Supply. There's 1,320 foot in a roll. I really don't know how many rolls it's going to take, but we'll look and see. I've got 2 rolls right now. We might have to pick up another one. And I'm only running 3 strands on this because the sheep and the cows respect the electric fence pretty good. That, and I'm ordering a Gallagher charger. I think it's a 7 or 8 joule Gallagher charger that's really going to put the hurt on them if they touch it. Let me get this poly wire ready and we'll start rolling some wire out. All right, all I did on this poly braid was take right here on the insulator, wrap it around a couple times and tie a couple knots in it. And then what I'm going to do is start running on up to our other fence post and just weave it in there. And I'll get you a shot once we get a little bit more done. All right, guys, we got 2 strands in, got 1 left to go, and I'll kind of show you the way I do it when I terminate on an end, and show you that. Instead of cutting it, I wrap it back around itself and just bring it straight up. Let me get you in here and show you that. All right, there's your bottom insulator. There's your second insulator. And what I did, the wire coming in here, wrapped it around a couple times and brought it straight up to here, and then wrapped it around, and it's ready to go. Then that way, if you ever want to take this down, you don't have a bunch of pieces. You've got one continuous loop. And where the other roll, when I ran out of a roll and had to get another one, all I did was just tie those together, and it's perfectly fine. So you can kind of see along through there the 2 runs that are in, and we'll get the 3rd run in and then show you a little bit more. All right, guys, we've got all 3 of our strands up, pulled as tight as you're going to get it with poly wire. I mean, the poly wire, you can only get it so tight, but you can see we got all 3 of those strands in, ready to go. Shoot you kind of up through there. You can see our 3 lines at 10, 20, and 34, and it goes on up through there. We'll run you up through there in a minute and kind of show you what it looks like. I've got everything about done. I'll show you there's a little 16-foot spot from H-brace to H-brace. I took and just put a cattle panel in there and drove a couple T-posts and stapled it to the H-braces. I'll take you over there and show you that. All right, I'm over here. There is the H-brace that we put in the other day that goes up along through there. There's another H-brace right over there at the corner. So we just took, it was 16 foot. I spaced it out to where a 16-foot panel would work without cutting it. So I stuck a 16-foot cattle panel in there just to close that gap where they can't go anywhere. Stapled it to each H-brace, and then stuck a couple T-posts in and wired the T-post with the cattle panel to the T-post with some T-post clips. I'm gonna pick everything up real quick, and then we'll go on a walk of the perimeter, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like. All right, guys, what I've got right here, this post right here, my gate that is right over here. There's Weezer, one of my livestock guard dogs. But this gate right here in front of us will swing open. It will attach to that post, and that post will be able to attach to the gate to hold it open. And then this post right here will be our first line post for the electric fence. Probably what I'm gonna do is run to TSC here in a little bit and get some gate closures and have these 3 strands and have it to where I can hook and unhook that to where then that way I can have a bigger spot to drive in here if I need to. But we'll walk up through this fence row and you can kind of see. I took the Bobcat and came in here and cleared this where it'd be a lot easier to work and get these posts and everything where you're not fighting weeds and all that stuff. So we'll just walk along this fence row real quick, and I can kind of show you how it weaves in and out. I will probably get some, chickpea and buckwheat to sow on all this disturbed dirt. That should come up this time of year, but we'll come up through here. And you can kind of see we're just following the fence row. But all this in here that's been disturbed, throw some seed down, throw a little bit of hay out, and it should come up real nice. There's a corner post, and you can see it weaves down through there. I'll save you the rest of it, and we'll walk on along, and then I can show you down where it does by the driveway. All right, just point of reference, there is the bougie chicken coop that we got. Here is Shop Dog hanging out. She likes hanging out here with me. But here's a bougie chicken coop. There's another corner right up there, and then it goes back that way. So this is looking down part of the driveway, which is this temp fence. And you can see that's what I did this morning. I came in and did some weed eating to where the grass was not growing up in the fence, which makes it a lot easier to run the fence and a lot easier to run your line in also. Here's some of our food forest / orchard as we go down the driveway. And yes, I've got some poke that I need to pull out and get out of there. But here's a little shot of some stuff we planted at the last guild class that we did. It's coming up pretty good. Tomorrow is 80% chance of rain. So we're really hoping we get some rain on this. It'll really help everything out. Planning on, if we can get a shot of it, planning on where all this grass and everything's at from the driveway, we're gonna come in, put a cardboard down on it and just wood chip everything just to where I don't have to mow it and it just stays nice. We'll probably plant some more blueberries and stuff like that in there. But you can see the fence right there. Pretty straight, pretty nice. Looks halfway decent, especially for a temporary fence. Probably sometime in the future along the right-hand side of the driveway, I'm gonna run like a 4-board plank fence a few feet off the driveway and make it just look a little bit nicer as you approach. But there you can see how everything runs down. It'll work for right now to get them in there and get all this stuff cleaned up. Because as you can see, it's just a total overgrown mess and not being used for anything right now. The sheep, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm gonna get goats to clean all my stuff up. I'll tell you what, hair sheep will get in there and the hair sheep will clean it up just as good as goats, and they're a hell of a lot easier to keep in than goats, that's for darn sure. So we'll walk down to this corner and I'll give you a shot up through the woods where I cleared it off. And the sun will probably be bad, but you can see the fence going on up through there and it curves back down to where we were a few minutes ago. All right, guys, so that's it. I've got to pick up a couple ground rods and some ground rod clamps here in just a little bit to get the electric fence charger in. I'll probably run into town and get those and drive them once I get back and hook a charger up. All right, guys, we've got everything set and ready to go. I've got a Patriot charger here that I had laying around. I'm gonna buy a big Gallagher in the next week or two and put it in the barn and figure out how I can get power to all my separate areas. I want something with a little bit more joules. I think this one's only got 2 joules. The Gallagher I'm looking at, it's got like 8 joules and 10 stored joules. So it'll really put the shock on them. But for now, this will work. What we've got the Patriot charger. I just ran an extension cord out here for now to test it out. But what I did this last T-post, I needed a way to get my tractor in and out. So I went ahead and ran to TSC and got the gate latches, the gate ends, whatever you want to call it. Hell, you know what they are. But I can take these 3 loose, move them out of the way, be able to still have access and move my tractor in. And then my 12-foot gate that's behind me will swing open, and it'll swing open right against the charger. I can latch the chain onto the T-post, and then that part will be covered. I've got my ground rods done, and I just use, on these Patriots, I just use an alligator clip and clip it on there. It seems to work great. It gets power to it. I'll take you over here and show you the ground rods. If you can see, I drove 2, these are your ground rods right here. I've got 2 ground rods. They're 4-foot pieces of rebar driven in, and then grounding clamps. And I just used number 12 copper wire on there. I mean, copper wire is copper wire, especially for your ground. It doesn't really matter. But on the ground clamps, I stripped more copper, more wire than what I needed, and bent it over on itself to where it's got more surface area to for the ground clamp to screw on there and get a good contact for a ground. It's dry here right now, so if it does not rain tomorrow, we've got an 80% chance of rain all day tomorrow. So if it does not rain, I will come down with a 5-gallon bucket of water and put a little bit of salt in it and really drench the area around those ground rods. Your ground rods work better if the ground is moist or wet. So I'll take and really soak those ground rods in good to where they get a good, nice ground. And the better ground you got, the hotter your fence is going to be, the more shock it's going to have on it. But that's about it for now. The sun is getting low in the sky, and it's time to eat dinner. Guys, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, share it out to everybody. And don't forget to check out the festival, KentuckySustainableLiving.com. Thanks, guys.